Hi guys, welcome to this Vlaanderen Classic briefing. As usual, you'll be on narrow roads. You'll climb steep...
Hello and welcome to all. Welcome to the start of one of the monuments of the cycling season, the Vlaanderen Classic. It's a race for true specialists, with its narrow roads, cobblestone hills and never-ending changes of direction. This Belgian Classic only crowns a highly talented rider. They're stepping on the pedal behind. The initial kilometres are relatively easygoing. It will no doubt provide an opportunity to see an early breakaway.
Watch out! You'll soon have no more energy for an attack. It's looking good. You've got more than a minute's lead on the peloton. They're riding hard behind. This isn't the moment to relax. You must constantly try to shelter from the wind, so as not to consume energy. This is what allows a rider to edge clear at the end of the race.
The front of the race is approaching the first two cobblestone sectors of the day. A small appetizer before getting down to the serious business in 100 kilometres or so. The riders are coming to the first feed zone. The race will then enter a more intense phase with the appearance of the first short climbs along the riders' route.
Allez, courage les gars, allez plus vite.
First hill for the riders to climb, the Oude Kvaremont. 2,200 metres of cobblestones at 4%. Undoubtedly one of the best known of the Flemish hills. The riders will have to climb it 3 times during the day.
Watch out! You'll soon have no more energy for an attack. The peloton is riding hard. Stay well placed.
New hill in sight, the Korte Keer, 1,000 metres at 6.4%. No cobblestones on this hill though. The riders can take advantage of a well-tarmacked road. Another hill, the Wolvenberg, only 650 metres, but an average slope of almost 8%. At the top, the riders will be straight onto a cobblestone sector that is 1,500 metres long. The front of the race now begins the ascent of the Berendries, 950 metres at 7%. The riders will soon be at the Mecca of cycling, the Muur van Gerardsbergen. Now that it sits far from the finish, its role as final arbiter, climbed inside the final kilometres, no longer applies, but it still remains a strategic location that could decide the race. The second feed zone is in sight for the front of the race. Serious business will soon begin with a succession of closely spaced hills. Here we go again, starting with a Pottelberg, 1,350 metres on an average slope of 6.5%. Now the Canarieberg stands before the riders, 1 kilometre on an average slope of 6.5%. From the top, the riders will drop down into the town of Kluisbergen for a second ascent to the Oude Kvaremont. Now on towards the Patterberg for the front of the race.
You're over-revving. Reduce the tempo or you'll pay the price.
Race will now take to the final cobblestone sector on the route. It has the particularity of harbouring a hill that sits in the middle of the sector, the Steenbeek Dries.
Watch out! You'll soon have no more energy for an attack.
It won't be long before the riders are at the Kruisberg, the longest hill on the route. That will leave the Oude Kvaremont Patterberg sequence on which to land a killer blow before reaching the finishing line in Oudenaarde.
The breakaway will, no doubt, go all the way, lads. But watch out for attacks in the closing kilometres.
Allez les gars, courage!
Allez les gars, on continue comme ça.
The breakaway is unlikely to go all the way, guys. Watch out for counter moves.
Ihr schafft das! Weiter so!
He's trying to get out. Watch out! The final climb of the Oude Kvaremont has begun.
Alright, yeah, faster! Come on, guys! Here we go!
He's trying to get out of the peloton. Watch out. A lone rider goes over the top of the Uduk for a moment. Now on towards the Paterberg. The last hill of the day, the Paterberg. At the top, there will be 13 kilometres before the finishing line is reached. Counter-attack at the front of the peloton. At the top of the Paterberg, nobody's been able to put one over on his opponents.
Continuez comme ça.
Lâchez rien, allez.
Attention.
Bravo les gars, c'est bien.
Only 10 kilometres left now. It's flat all the way to the line. He's moving on to the attack.
Continuez comme ça. Courage, on continue. Gut so. Haut rein, Leute. Weiter so, Jungs.
Another 5 kilometres. It's very tight. The gaps are slim. It's difficult to say who will win. He's trying to get out of the peloton. Watch out. Counter-attack at the front of the peloton. Final kilometre for the men at the front. There's no time to play a waiting game. They can be caught from the rear.
You almost look out of strength. Look after yourself if you want to avoid a blow-up.
He has mastered the small roads of Flanders and its cobblestone hills.
Hi guys, welcome to...
Greetings, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to one of the main events of the cycling season, the mythical Paris-Roubaix. With its flat terrain and numerous cobbled sectors, this classic offers an atypical route where a rider's condition is as important as luck if he is to hope for victory. The riders have just set out and already there's an attack. There's plenty of movement. New attack.
Watch out. You're not going to be able to attack for much longer. The others are fed up because you're not making enough effort. They'll no doubt try and drop you. If you don't take more relays, you will disrupt the breakaway, and you'll have no chance of going all the way.
The first 100 kilometers are of little interest. They're often used as an observation round by the favourites in order to see which team will take the race in hand.
They're riding hard behind. This isn't the moment to relax. You must constantly try to shelter from the wind, so as not to consume energy. This is what allows a rider to edge clear at the end of the race.
And we're off. The riders are onto the first sector, number 28, from Traville to Inchy, 2,200 metres of cobblestones. Sectors are numbered in decreasing order. The last sector bears the number 1. The sectors are classified according to a system of stars and colours. The most difficult to cross are rated as 5 stars and are recognisable by the black markers that designate the entry. The riders are now on sector 27. They will be very quickly on to the next sector, since there's barely 2 kilometres between the end of the first one and the beginning of the next.
It doesn't seem to be a good day for him. He's being distanced. Watch out! You're not going to be able to attack for much longer.
The head of the race is onto the first 4-star sector, more than 3,400 metres long and ending in a rising falls flat. Some riders could already be in difficulty.
The peloton is riding hard. Stay well placed.
A new sector, number 25, also quite long with its 3,000 metres of cobblestone. Here we go again, from Vertin to Saint-Martin-sur-Écaillon, a 2,300 metre sector. Is awaiting the riders. The next sector is approaching for the front of the race. This is the first in a sequence of 3 sectors that will come one straight after the other, making for almost 6 kilometres of road without tarmac. In less than 10 kilometres, the first riders will be on to the trench of Arenberg. First key sector for the favourites of this Paris-Roubaix. But beforehand, they will have to cross the demanding Haveluy to Wallers sector, classified as 4 stars. The next sector, from Wallers to Elaine, also known as the Pont Gibus, in honour of twice Paris-Roubaix winner Gilbert Duclos-Lassalle, is 1,600 metres long and is classified as difficulty level 3 out of 5. The leading riders have now crossed half of the cobbled sectors. There are only 14 left. Sector 13 for the front of the race. 1,400 metres. It's now the turn of the Orshi sector to welcome the riders. 1,700 metres of cobblestone. Sector 11 has begun. 2,700 metres from Orshi-les-Orshi to Bercy. The race is entering the final 50 kilometres, and the next sector is none other than Mont-Pével. Classified as a difficulty 5 and 3 kilometres long, this sector is often described as an ordeal. When it's over, some riders will certainly be eliminated from the list of prospective winners. 30 seconds lead for the head of the race. A 2-star sector is now on the menu. The difficulty of the sectors will then increase until the Carrefour de l'Arbre. The next 2 sectors, classified as 3 stars, are only 1 kilometre apart. The riders won't have time for a breather. The riders are now heading towards the Confins-Pével and Carrefour de l'Arbre sectors, both often proving decisive for final victory.
Watch out! You're not going to be able to attack for much longer.
Now it's the Carrefour de l'Arbre. With its 5-star difficulty, this is the last sector that really provides a chance to hurt one's opponents. Very often, the first rider out of this sector goes on to win in Roubaix. Penultimate sector for the leading rider. There's only 1 sector left for the rider at the front.
Watch out! You're not going to be able to keep up this pace for very long. You risk a blow-up.
30 seconds lead for the head of the race.
Ladies and gentlemen, I want to know...
Hi guys, welcome to this Liège-Bastogne-Liège briefing.
For one of the most eagerly awaited classics of the year, Liège-Bastogne-Liège. With its very demanding route that takes in numerous short climbs, this monument is the holy grail for all punchers.
The peloton is riding hard. Stay well placed.
The gap is decreasing. The peloton has not given up. The breakaway didn't get far. Watch out for counter moves. Breakaway over. It's the first climb of the day, the Côte de la Roche-en-Ardenne. Of course, it's far too early to see an attack by any of the favourites.
You must constantly try to shelter from the wind. So was not to consume energy. This is what allows a rider to edge clear at the end of the race.
The front of the race is now going through Bastogne, from where the riders turn back towards Liège. There are 150 kilometers left in the race. The breakaway is losing its lead. It's going to be difficult for them. The breakaway has reached the very steep Côte de Saint-Roch, 1 kilometer on an average slope of 11%. The riders will then enter the first feed zone. The breakaway is losing its lead. It's going to be difficult for them.
The breakaway is upping the tempo at the head of the race. It doesn't intend to be caught up that easily. Guys, even if the finish is a long way off, you're going to have to stay towards the front from now on. There'll be very little let up for you to get into position, so you'd better move up now. Come on, guys. The The riders up front still have something left. They're upping the pace to try to hold out till the end.
Next up on the menu is the Côte de la Haute Levée, 3.6 kilometers on an average slope of 5.6%. The riders are about to climb the Col du Rosier. At almost 4.5 kilometers, it's the longest ascent on the route. At the top, there will be 60 kilometers to go. The riders will be able to take a feed and have a quick breather before starting on the final portion of the race and its 4 remaining difficulties: the Col du Maquisard, Côte de la Redoute, Côte des Forges and the Roche au Faucon. The riders will now drop down towards the renowned Côte de la Redoute, where the supporters of Philippe Gilbert gather to cheer the local hero. With its 2 kilometers at almost 9% and sections at 20%, the Côte de la Redoute is a true wall. It's a moment to turn the screw or to abandon all hope of victory.
The peloton is riding hard. Stay well placed.
We'll have to keep something in reserve if we want to get away in the final kilometers. Penultimate difficulty of the day for the peloton, the Côte des Forges. Breakaway over. The Roche au Faucon is an ideal climb on which to place a decisive attack. However, it requires a sustained effort to avoid falling away on the falls flat that leads to the descent into Liège. He's trying to get out of the peloton. Watch out!
Watch out! You'll soon have no more energy for an attack. You have 30 seconds on the peloton. Okay, we'll consume a feed. They're riding hard behind. This isn't the moment to relax.
The Roche au Faucon didn't see any rider make a getaway, but there's still a long rising falls flat on which to edge clear. If that doesn't do it, it's likely to be decided in a sprint. The road is now free of climbs. The riders will soon be onto the big boulevards, and so it will be almost impossible to surprise one's opponents.
Okay, we'll consume a feed.
Here we go! Come on, guys!
Keep going! Keep going!
He's trying to get out. Watch out!
Here we go! Here we go! Here we go! Come on, guys! Come on!
Haut rein, Leute! Weiter so, Jungs! Macht das, Jungs!
Now it's downhill to the finish. The sprint looks inevitable. Attack! No need to ask questions. He's moving on to the attack. He's turning the screw. Breakaway over.
Allez les gars, on continue comme ça.
Final kilometre. Victory will be decided in the sprint.
Ladies and gentlemen, I want to know...
Hi guys, Welcome to the briefing for this first stage. The main thing to grasp today is that the route is flat and it harbors no particular difficulties. A sprint finish is more than likely. This stage is of no interest to us. Keep cozy inside the peloton. Have a good stage.
Hello and welcome to all. Given the profile of today's stage, it's clear that the sprinters will have ambitions for victory. It will be very surprising if they don't harness their teammates to target a mass sprint in Pontivy.
Okay guys, it's not going to be the most exciting of days. The sprinters team will manage the early breakaway to set up a sprint finish, and there shouldn't be any surprises. Have a nice day. You've got 1 minute 30 over the peloton. It turned out to be a good move. Don't let the counterattack catch up. The peloton won't let such a large group get away. Essentially, you're the fastest of the group in a sprint. Well, on flat stages, that's not where you see the most drama. You can accelerate forward if you think that nothing important will happen. You must constantly try to shelter from the wind, so as not to consume energy. This is what allows a rider to edge clear at the end of the race. They're riding hard behind. This is the moment to relax.
Allez les gars, courage! Bravo les gars, c'est bien! On continue comme ça! Continuez comme ça!
Allez les gars, courage!
You seem to be the best puncher in the group. You should be able to move to the front.
Allez les gars, courage!
You were first over the top of the climb. That's good.
The lead group is coming to the feed zone.
No problem. I'll do my best to help the guys. Your breakaway companions look like they want to up the pace.
The breakaway's 10 kilometers from the intermediate sprint. The first 15 score points at the intermediate sprint. The first will pocket 20 points.
Bravo les gars.
Watch. Out. You're not going to be able to attack for much longer. The gap is decreasing, guys. The peloton should be there for the stage win. The riders up front still have something left. They're upping the pace to try to hold out till the end. Essentially, you're the fastest of the group in a sprint.
The riders will soon be going head-to-head on the final classified climb of the day. A fourth category ascent that offers 1 point.
You were first. Over the top of the climb. That's good.
The head of the race has 1.5 minutes lead on the peloton. The front of the race passes in front of the 20-kilometer sign. It will be difficult to withstand the return of the peloton. The sprinters' teams have the situation in hand. The sprint is inevitable.
Okay, we'll consume a feed.
The sprinters' teams have managed this stage perfectly. 5 kilometers out, the peloton is bunched and everything is in place for a mass sprint. The sprinters are ready to fight it out. Well positioned on the wheel of their team members, they'll soon be burning rubber.
Okay, I'll protect him. Okay, I'll put in a big acceleration.
The red pennant for the peloton.
He succeeded in avoiding. We can say that he's amongst.
Well done, lads. You rode a very good stage, finishing in the... Hi, guys. Let's start the... Well done, guys. We're where we should be. We were aiming for a top 10 spot, and you did the job. I'm It's the final stage, guys. Today's route is hilly and a leg breaker.
De Mat done whole. The Breton roads will put the peloton under severe pressure. The many short climbs and the narrow roads will require unflagging attention in order not to be caught off guard by the most audacious. Will find them ideal terrain to go on the attack. The front runners are 10 kilometers from the first intermediate sprint.
The peloton is riding hard. Stay well placed.
The gap is decreasing. The peloton has not given up.
The breakaway riders are increasing the gap. They are not dangerous for the overall standings. We can let them go. The peloton doesn't seem to want to let the lead group get away. Some teams must think that there are too many people up front. King of the Mountain sprint in 2 kilometers for the breakaway group. Guys, don't forget to protect our leader. Communication is important. That's why we have Team Com. The gap is widening. No need to panic, guys. There's nobody dangerous for the overall standings. King of the Mountain sprint in 2 kilometers for the breakaway group.
A new climb is approaching for the head of the race. Once more, there will be 1 point that goes towards the mountain standings.
The end of the stage is not far off. Stay awake. It will soon start to move in the peloton.
Last time checked with the breakaway, 1 minute. The next climb is classified as 4th category. That means 1 point to be earned for the first rider to the top.
The sprint is approaching, and we must take maximum points if we want to stay in the race for the points classification. They're riding hard behind. This isn't the moment to relax.
Breakaway over.
Allez, les gars, allez, go, go, go. Allez, on y va.
For now, he's the virtual yellow jersey.
Allez, les gars, on continue comme ça. Courage, on continue.
Lâchez rien, allez!
King of the Mountain sprint in 2 kilometers for the breakaway group. Okay, I'll put in a big acceleration. A teammate has just been dropped. You can't count on him any longer. Watch out! You'll soon have no more energy for an attack. He's been dropped. The stage is too much for him. His team is riding for the overall standings. The front of the race will struggle to widen the gap.
He's a rider who likes short, sharp climbs. His capabilities in the high mountains are relatively limited.
The gap is growing. Don't worry. They're not well placed in the overall standings. The peloton is riding hard. Stay well placed.
The last climb counting towards the mountains classification is on the horizon. It's 1 kilometre at over 8%, making it an ideal moment to attack for those who don't want to wait for the short climb at the finish.
The peloton is 1 minute 30 behind you.
Allez, courage, les gars, allez plus vite.
Excellent. You increase your lead on the overall climber standings.
Allez, les gars, on continue comme ça.
The peloton is 1 minute away. At 5 kilometres from the finish, a group of riders is alone at the head of the race. Will they manage to hold out in the final kilometre?
Guys, the final climb is 1 kilometre long. It's split into 2, with a very, very steep foot, and the final 400 metres that are almost flat.
Mais voilà. Allez, 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 les gars, courage.
last kilometer. Don't relax. There's a slope. We're professional leaders. Come on. Keep at it. You're over-revving. Reduce the tempo or you'll pay the price. You almost look out of strength. Look after yourself if you want to avoid a blow-up.
Ladies and gentlemen, let us welcome. He will climb onto the podium. We can say that he tops the standing. He tops the standings.
Well done, lads. Congratulations to you. Hi guys, welcome to the briefing for this first stage. The main thing to grasp today is that the route is flat and it harbours no particular difficulties. A sprint finish is more than likely.
Hello, cycling fans everywhere. Today's stage harbours no major difficulties, but the circuit drawn around Issoire, to be covered 3 times, should prove to be tiring. It's highly likely that the pure sprinters will be worn out when they reach the final climb of the day, whose summit is just 12 kilometres from the finishing line. The riders have just set out and already there's an attack. There's plenty of movement. New attack.
Right. I'll concentrate on the classification of the stage.
The route isn't very difficult, but it could prove tiring. Try to keep as much as you can in the tank for the final lap. That's where the stage will be decided today. Well, on flat stages, that's not where you see the most drama. You can accelerate forward if you think that nothing important will happen. The peloton is riding hard. Stay well placed. You must constantly try to shelter from the wind, so as not to consume energy. This is what allows a rider to edge clear at the end of the race.
The front of the race will soon be entering Issoire and the final circuit. The men at the front will soon be onto a crucial passage of this circuit, with 2 climbs, one after the other, in less than 6 kilometres. The Côte du Château de Buron and the Col de la Croix de Garde. The second climb is already here, a little more than 1 kilometre at an average of 6%. There's 1 point to be had for the mountains classification. Here's the first passage across the finishing line. The next passage will see the riders locking horns for the day's intermediate sprint.
You've got to ride, guys, if you want a chance of a sprint victory. The gap is decreasing, guys. The peloton should be there for the stage win. The first riders are 2 kilometers from the climb.
Another 5 kilometres before the intermediate sprint will be fought out on the finishing line in Issoire.
Here's the winner of the intermediate sprint. Watch out! You're not going to be able to attack for much longer.
The head of the race has 1.5 minutes lead on the peloton. "30 seconds lead for the head of the race.
Lâchez rien, allez!
We're entering the last 20 kilometres of the race. A few more kilometres before starting the decisive sequence of climbs.
Allez les gars, on continue comme ça!
Bravo les gars!
The riders are all back together. Everything will be played out in the final kilometres. Here we go. The peloton enters the decisive moment of this stage.
They're riding hard behind. This isn't the moment to relax. You're 2 kilometers from the top. Okay, we'll consume a feed.
On y croit, allez! Allez, tu peux y arriver! Allez, vas-y, on est avec toi! Plus vite! Vas-y, allez, vas-y!
You have 30 seconds on the peloton. You were first over the top of the climb. That's good. in trouble. It's not sure that he'll be there for the sprint.
Okay, we'll consume a feed.
It's a lone rider who noses down towards the finish. Less than 12 kilometres for him. He doesn't have much of a lead on his pursuers. The road into Issoire will seem a long one for him. There are 10 kilometres left before the finish.
The peloton is riding hard. Stay well placed.
Less than 5 kilometres before the finish. Bunched peloton. With less than 3 kilometres to go, the final sprint is taking shape. The lead-out men are in place, and the sprinters will soon move into action.
Allez, courage les gars.
Is a tough nut to be making off now. Last kilometre. It will be decided in the sprint.
Ladies and gentlemen, applaud. We can say that everything is going. He will climb onto the... He tops the standing. He's amongst the...
It was a stage on which we could really have shone, and we don't even finish in the top 10? It's a pity. Hi guys, let's start the briefing for this stage. Today is a tiring route, where the closing kilometers should suit the punchers. It may be worth slipping into the early breakaway, because if we pick up enough King of the Mountains points...
Hello and welcome to all. With its 8.5 kilometre ascent at more than 7%, the Col de Pera-Taillade should eliminate the pure sprinters. But with its summit located at over 30 kilometres from the finish, it's difficult to imagine the favourites for the general classification taking matters into their hands from so far out. Without a doubt, it's an opportunity not to be missed for the Baroudeurs. Tom Dumoulin is a complete all-round rider. Specialist against the clock, he was crowned world champion in 2017. He's also able to compete against the best in the mountains, as demonstrated when he won the Tour of Italy's pink jersey.
Guys, the stage might favour a long-distance attempt. After Pera-Taillade, the peloton will surely be disorganised, and the early breakaway might have an opportunity to go all the way. Keep your eyes open.
Courage! Allez les gars! Continuez comme ça!
You still have 2 kilometers before you reach the summit. Watch out for him. He's the best puncher in the breakaway.
Counter-attack attempt at the head of the peloton.
You were first over the top of the climb. That's good. The leader has got his team riding early to manage the time gap. It's looking good. You've got over a minute's lead on the peloton.
Allez, vas-y.
They're riding hard behind. This isn't the moment to relax.
Courage! Continue! Allez, on y va. Bravo! Hop, 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 hop. Allez,
Allez.
hop, hop. Allez.
Here's a teammate who has everything to prove. He has ambitions for the polka dot jersey.
You're the most dangerous in the breakaway for the yellow jersey. You're the one with the most points for the green jersey in the breakaway. It's you who has the most mountain points within the lead group. You must constantly try to shelter from the wind so as not to consume energy. This is what allows a rider to edge clear at the end of the race. This stage is fairly uneventful. If you think that nothing special is going to happen, you can advance the clock to the closing kilometer.
There will be 2 and 1 point for the mountain standings.
You still have 2 kilometers before you reach the summit. Watch out for him. He's the best puncher in the breakaway. You were first over the top of the climb. That's good.
The feed zone is in sight, ahead of the race. Riders will be able to pick up some nourishment.
They're riding hard behind. This isn't the moment to relax.
The intermediate sprint is approaching. It's an opportunity to recall that only the first 15 score points for the green jersey.
You've won the intermediate sprint. Well done. The peloton is 1 minute 30 behind you. The end of the stage is not far off. Stay awake. It will soon start to move in the peloton.
We'll have to keep something in reserve if we want to get away in the final kilometers. head of the race is now starting the climb of the Col de Pere Taillard, the last major difficulty that faces the riders.
Bravo les gars, c'est bien. Allez, courage les gars, allez plus vite. Courage, on continue.
He's trying to get out. Watch out! With a little more than 8 kilometres at an average of 7.4%, and although there is still the third category climb to come, this pass should decide the stage win.
Watch out! You'll soon have no more energy for an attack. 30 seconds between you and the pack. His team is riding for the overall standings. The front of the race will struggle to widen the gap.
The first 6 riders at the top will pocket the points towards the polka dot jersey. There will be 10, 8, 6, 4, 2 and 1 point to be gained. The head of the race has 1.5 minutes lead on the peloton. The final short climb of the stage stands before the front runner. If he keeps his lead all the way to the top, he should easily manage a solo victory.
Allez les gars, courage. Allez les gars, allez, go, go, go.
There will be 2 and 1 point for the mountain standings. "30 seconds lead for the head of the race. He's trying to get out of the peloton. Watch out.
He'll be the new polka dot jersey. He can no longer be caught today.
The head of the race is less than 10 kilometers from the finish.
He's being left behind. It's good news for the overall standings.
He's moving on to the attack. Only 3 kilometers to go for the man at the front.
The riders up front still have something left. They're upping the pace to try to hold out till the end.
He's trying to get out of the peloton. Watch out. Last kilometre for the breakaway riders. The final sprint will soon be launched.
He is all smiles as he climbs onto the podium. Applaud him.
Here is the winner of the Histoire Métier on the race stage.
He found a way to master his rivals in order to raise his arms in victory. Congratulations. He will climb onto the podium to receive his jersey and a kiss from the hostesses. Here is the yellow jersey of this Dauphiné. He will be able to hang this jersey in his trophy. We can say he's in. He tops the...
Well done, lads. You rode a very good stage. Finishing in the top 10, even though the stage didn't suit us, is very satisfying. Hi guys, let's start the briefing for this stage. The main thing to grasp today is that the route is flat and it harbours no particular difficulties. A sprint finish is more than likely. Today's result is most unsatisfactory. If things had gone our way, I reckon that we could have got into the top 5. Hi guys, let's start the briefing for this stage. Let's be clear, our chances of getting into the top... We had no real ambitions for the classification of this stage. At least... Hi guys, let's start the briefing for this stage. The main thing to grasp today is that the route is flat and it harbours no particular difficulties. A sprint finish is more than likely. It'll be important to pick up maximum points in order to make up lost ground for the green jersey. We've got what it takes to be in amongst it in the final sprint and finish in the top 5. Have a good stage, guys! Well done, lads. Congratulations to you. I hoped that we'd play a leading role, but from that... Hi guys, let's start the briefing for this stage. Today is a tiring route, where the closing kilometers should suit the punchers. It may be worth slipping into the early breakaway, because if we pick up enough King of the Mountains points, we can take the polka dot jersey. The team members of the favorites will probably manage the time gaps in order to fight for victory on the final climb. It will be difficult for us to influence the outcome. Good race to you all! We had no real ambitions for the classification of this stage. The least that can be said is, you didn't prove me wrong. Hi guys, let's start the briefing for this stage. Today's route is hilly and a leg breaker. Perfect.
Greetings, ladies and gentlemen. With the numerous climbs spread all the way along the route, this is undoubtedly a stage that can be described as leg breaker. Riders will have to eke out their energy if they hope to break clear and win on the final climb to Vaujany.
Allez les gars, on continue comme ça.
Continuate! Forza, continuate! Vai, sei un mito!
It looks like you've gone for a day on your own. Good luck.
Continuez comme ça.
Bravo les gars, c'est bien!
Bravo les gars.
Allez les gars, courage!
Allez les gars, courage!
In front, he's the best placed in the overall standings. Watch out! You'll soon have no more energy for an attack.
The first King of the Mountains summit is classified as a Category 3. There will be 2 points and 1 point to be scored at the top.
You still have 2 kilometers before you reach the summit.
The next difficulty is listed as a Category 4. There will be only 1 point to be scored towards the best climber classification. The first 15 in the intermediate sprint score points for the green jersey. The first will pocket 20 extra points. Here's a teammate who has everything to prove.
It's looking good for the counter-attack. You should perhaps wait for them. The finish is still a long way off.
He has ambitions for the polka dot jersey. The next summit is ranked first category. The first scores 10 points towards the best climber classification.
Schneller!
You're over-revving. Reduce the tempo or you'll pay the price.
Go, go, go!
Allez, fonce, 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 fonce. Go, go. Allez. Vas-y, vas-y, vas-y. Go, allez, vas-y. Ouais.
Allez!
Plus vite.
You still have 2 kilometers before reaching the climb.
Allez, on y va. Encore, encore. Allez, plus vite. Courage, on continue. Allez, 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 allez. Plus vite. Lâche rien. Allez, vas-y. Continue. Continue comme ça. Allez, les gars. Allez, courage, les gars. Allez, plus vite. Allez, les gars, courage. Allez, les gars. Allez, les gars. Courage. Forza, ragazzi, coraggio. Allez, continue comme ça. Allez, les gars. Allez, go, go, go. Allez, on y va.
The peloton is riding hard. Stay well placed. You must constantly try to shelter from the wind, so as not to consume energy. This is what allows a rider to edge clear at the end of the race.
It's a third category climb that now waits the riders. 2 points will be awarded to the first rider to the top.
The end of the stage is not far off. Stay awake. It will soon start to move in the peloton.
Last time check with the breakaway. 1 minute. $30 lead for the head of the race. We'll have to keep something in reserve if we want to get away in the final kilometers. Breakaway over.
You're over-revving. Reduce the tempo or you'll pay the price.
This stage is his. He will climb onto. He tops the stage. He's amongst. He tops the.
We had no real ambitions for the classification of this stage. The least that can... We had no real ambitions for the classification of this. It's the final stage, guys. It's a day in the mountains. The finish isn't decided at the top of the climb, but the route is challenging, and it's an important day for the general classification. This is our last chance to try and take the polka dot jersey. Mathematically, it's possible. We must believe it. We don't have what it takes. We had no real ambitions for the classification of this stage. The least that can be said is, you didn't prove me wrong. Hi guys, welcome to the briefing for this first stage. Today there's a short time trial on the program. Unsurprisingly, an excellent rouleur. We had no real ambitions for the classification of this stage. The least that can be said is you didn't prove me wrong. We could have hoped for a better start, but it doesn't matter. Hi guys, let's start the briefing for this stage. The main thing to grasp today is that the route is flat and without any difficulties. But be on your guard as the wind can lead to bordures. Normally, we'd put a...
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Denmark. The presence of wind during the crossing of the Great Belt Bridge could split the peloton into numerous echelons. And as is often the case, some riders could already lose a lot of time in the general classification.
Guys, today it's as flat as a pancake, but there are risks. The final 20 kilometers are on a bridge, so there'll be wind and borders. Good luck.
Immediate counter-attack behind.
The head of the virtual overall standings is ours. But don't get carried away. The stage is still long. You're the best placed on the overall standings in the breakaway. Essentially, you're the fastest of the group in a sprint. On flat stages, that's not where you see the most drama. You can accelerate forward if you think that nothing important will happen. From the top. You've just taken the top spot of the climber standings. That's good. Keep it up. You must constantly try to shelter from the wind so as not to consume energy. This is what allows a rider to edge clear at the end of the race. We've got enough of a points lead for the polka dot jersey. There's no way we can lose it today. Keep it up!
Here's the final classified climb of the stage. Once again, there is 1 point up for grabs in the best climber classification.
You were first over the top of the climb. That's good. Puncture! Puncture! No, just kidding. It was to wake up the mechanic. Your breakaway companions look like they want to up the pace.
The men at the front will soon be crossing through the feed zone. Time for them to pick up something to eat that will see them through the second half of the stage. Let's not forget that each intermediate sprint earns points for the first 15 across the line. The first rider scores 20 points.
They're riding hard behind. This isn't the moment to relax. You've won the intermediate sprint. Well done.
They're going to have to ride hard to read in the breakaway. With this lead, they can start to believe it.
The peloton is riding hard. Stay well placed. The gap is decreasing, guys. The peloton should be there for the stage win.
The head of the race has 1.5 minutes lead on the peloton. Last time checked with a breakaway, 1 minute. The race is approaching the Great Belt Bridge, a crossing that none of the riders are looking forward to, because they'll surely be gorgeous.
Okay, we'll relay hard.
Gut so! Haut rein, Leute! Weiter so, Jungs!
30 seconds lead for the head of the race.
Okay, we'll relay flat out.
The riders are all back together. Everything will be played out in the final kilometers.
Okay, we'll consume a feed.
We're 15 kilometers from the finish for the peloton.
Watch out! You're not going to be able to attack for much longer.
Bunched peloton.
It is not always a good idea to be too many in a breakaway, as the others will not necessarily want to cooperate with us.
There are only 10 kilometers left to go, and no one has managed to get away for the stage win.
being left behind. It's good news for the overall standings. A teammate has just been dropped. You can't count on him any longer.
Three kilometres. Nobody has yet managed to gain the upper hand. Last kilometre. It will be decided in a sprint.
He succeeded in avoiding all. He's in sparkle. He's in sparkle. He's in sparkle. He's amongst the leading.
We had no real ambitions for the classification of this stage. The least that can be said is you didn't prove me wrong. Hi guys, let's start the briefing for this stage. The main thing to grasp today is that the route is flat. But be on your guard, because the uphill finish isn't suited to the pure sprinters, and the peloton might get split. This stage is of no interest.
Hello, cycling fans everywhere. For this stage, linking Germany to Belgium, it's a safe bet that there are teams hoping for a bunched finish. But it's not necessary the teammates of the sprinters will be called upon. With a slope of over 4% in the final kilometre, it's very likely that the punchers are also contemplating stage victory. The riders will soon be onto a short climb that counts towards the best climber classification. It should allow the baroudeurs to go on the offensive and launch the day's breakaway.
It's looking good. You've got over a minute's lead on the peloton. from the top. Come on! If you play this right, you'll be on your own at the top of the climb.
Los! Schneller! Go, go, go! Schneller! Schneller!
You're 1 minute 30 ahead of the peloton. It's looking good.
Schneller, schneller! Bleib dran! Bleib dran! Los, mach hin! Weiter! Hopp, hopp, hopp! Los, los, los! Los! Los, mach hin! Go, go, go! Schneller! Schneller! Los!
We've got enough of a points lead for the polka dot jersey. There's no way we can lose it today. Keep it up.
Bleib dran! Bleib dran! Bleib dran! Weiter! Los! Weiter! Bleib dran!
Here's a teammate who has everything to prove. The peloton has caught up. There's no more escapees. One and a half minutes for the breakaway. It might just work. The time gap between the peloton and the breakaway is decreasing.
Well, on flat stages, that's not where you see the most drama. You can accelerate forward if you think that nothing important will happen. You must constantly try to shelter from the wind, so as not to consume energy. This is what allows a rider to edge clear at the end of the race.
The intermediate sprint is looming for the front of the race. It will enable the first 15 to score points towards the green jersey standings. Time difference between the peloton and the breakaway is steady. The breakaway is losing ground.
The gap is decreasing, guys. The peloton should be there for the stage win.
The head of the race has 1.5 minutes lead on the peloton. Last time check with the breakaway, 1 minute. Seconds lead for the head of the race. The day's final categorized difficulty is approaching. Once again, there will be 1 point to be gleaned for the polka dot jersey. The riders are all back together. Everything will be played out in the final kilometres.
Gut so. Haut rein, Leute. Haut rein.
Haltet euch an!
You are 2 kilometers from the top. They're riding hard behind. This isn't the moment to relax.
We're 15 kilometres from the finish for the peloton.
Weiter so, Jungs. Ihr schafft das. Weiter so, Jungs. Macht das, Jungs. Da kommen sie. Haut rein. Ihr schafft das.
The last 10 kilometers. We are heading for a grouped finish. Try to take points for the green jersey. Watch the demeanor of the other sprinters to know when to launch your sprint. If you start too soon, you will be unable to continue your effort to the line. If you start too late, you will not have time to work your way to the front. Be careful, guys. There's a left-hand bend 2 kilometers from the finish. You've got to be well placed to avoid having to regain momentum at the foot of the final climb.
Da kommen sie!
Haut rein.
Haut rein, Leute!
Only 5 kilometres left for the peloton. Everything will be decided on the short climb to the finish. Who'll prove to be the strongest? The red pennant is in sight for the front of the race.
Watch out! You're not going to be able to attack for much longer.
Ladies and gentlemen, let us. He's amongst the lead. He's in. He tops the stand. He's amongst the.
Great, guys! I wasn't expecting anything from this stage, and you bring home a podium place? Hi guys, let's start the briefing for this stage. Today's route is hilly and a leg breaker. Perfect for attacking, which should suit the punchers, and an opportunity to lead the general classification. Even if the stage isn't really within our scope, you've got to stay vigilant for the general classification. Good race to you all!